On last week's episode, we talked about titles. On this week's episode, we are going to talk about subtitles and how you can use a subtitle to create excitement about your book for your readers and how it will lead them to go from the subtitle to your description to making a purchase of your book. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, you'll be okay, but go back and listen to it so you can have some further tools in your tool belt to be able to go out there and create an amazing title and subtitle. Stick around till the end of the episode where I will be answering some listener submitted questions. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Being born in the late 80s and growing up in the early 90s, I was a part of the transition to video game consoles being more readily available, more types of video games, and everything being available in the home. I played video games. I enjoy video games. I enjoy board games. One of the games I enjoyed the most as a kid was Super Nintendo's Super Mario World. I remember playing this game with my dad, and we wanted to try to beat all of the worlds and then find the special worlds. As I played that game and lots of other games, I've noticed that a big part of games is the excitement of what's next. What's next in the journey? What's next in what I will discover? What's next in how I will grow and learn with my character? As I was reflecting on that this week, I realized that this is very much related to how a book is and how your reader's journey through your book can create excitement. And that begins with the title, but then moves on to the subtitle to create further excitement, because the subtitle is the promise of the book. It's what, for me as the reader, is going to get out of the book. Now, this applies mostly, I will say mostly, with the caveat, to nonfiction titles, because usually when you pick up a nonfiction book, especially business or self-help, you're wanting to get something out of it as a reader. There's a reason you're picking it up. So imagine your reader picking up your book. They read the title, they think it's interesting, and then they read the subtitle. Are they going to be excited about the subtitle of your book? So I want to go through and break down, as I did last week with the title, how you can approach the subtitle. I won't be including the full list here. I just want to give a few examples. But if you want the full list, you can go to juxtabook.com/title guide and download the full list of title and subtitle breakdowns. So let's jump into this. The first one is the instructional subtitle. This begins with often the how-to. It's straightforward guidance of what you're going to get out of the book, the promise. Two ways to approach this further is thinking about a guidebook subtitle. You're using phrases like a guide to ... or like a comprehensive approach to the subject. The next is the step-by-step title. You offer a detailed, systematic process or set of instructions for how to do this. So it could be like the 3-step guide, or you're listing, if the steps are short enough, what the steps are, along with the promise. Next is the definitive subtitle. This clearly defines the topic or the outcome you will achieve. I see this a lot with books focused on health and fitness. Next is the promise title. You're making a bold promise or guarantee about the outcomes or benefits. So it's the future state. It's what someone is going to be able to achieve by going through your book. So an example of this could be how to start your own business in 12 months. Next is the problem solution subtitle. You state a common problem and how the book provides a solution to it. Next is the inspirational subtitle. You're using motivational language to inspire and encourage the reader. And then finally, there's the time frame subtitle. You include a specific time frame, like in 30 days or in 1 week, or probably one of the most well-known books that uses this is the 4-Hour Work Week. Now that may not be within a specific time frame, but it does anchor you with a promise. So as I've gone through these, you can combine different ones of these, 1 or 2 of these, to be able to create a further stronger subtitle. For example, you take a time frame subtitle and you combine it with a definitive subtitle so that there's a clearly defined topic or outcome in a certain time frame. What you may choose to do as you review the titles and the frameworks and approaches for titles is that you may realize, you know what, I want my subtitle to be the main title, and I'll still expand on that with another different subtitle. There's a lot of different ways to approach it. And an example of a book that does this in a very effective way is the 4-Hour Work Week. That title is very intriguing, but it also has some time associated with it, and it does have a promise. The subtitle is Escape 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, and Join the New Rich. It has a very clear promise, and I would say it's an inspirational subtitle. As I mentioned last time, there's a lot of different fun ways you can approach your title and subtitle. Do the same thing with your subtitle. Write out different ones. Test it with people in your target audience. Make sure that it is clear what the promise is for the book. What this is going to do is it's going to create that excitement. It's going to create hope for someone who's picking up your book. It's building that trust to build and fulfill on that trust as they read your book. So remember, to get the full list of title and subtitle structures, visit juxtabook.com/title guide to download your copy of the title guide for free. If you like this episode, please go rate and review the podcast. It helps our podcast show up to be able to help other authors who are looking for the best way to publish their book. And in next week's episode, we're going to talk about something I'm very excited about, and that's using neuroscience to make you a better book author. It'll be truly insightful and impact more than just your writing. If you have any questions that you'd like to have answered on a future episode, visit juxtabook.com/yourpathtopublish and click on the appropriate button to leave your question. You can also find the link in the show notes.
At what point do I stop tinkering with a manuscript and simply put my book out there?
I'm sure this is a question that many authors ask themselves. Your book is something you've put countless hours into, and I completely understand that you want to get it right. There may not be a sign that you're done tinkering the book, because there's always going to be something that you can change. There will always be something that you can update. And that's what later versions are for. But the mistake you can make is going through it so much that you become afraid to put it out there. So the first thing I would advise is check your mindset that you're not thinking that your book is for everyone. You will have people who love your book, people who think it's okay, and you will have people that don't like it. It's not for everyone. So if you're trying to make a book that's for everyone, that could be the first thing that you need to address. Because if you're not clear on your target audience, it will always feel like your book has more and more that needs to be in it. Another checkpoint is the feedback you receive from your beta readers, and specifically the ones who are in your target audience. If they're having insightful feedback, talking about how the book is impacting them, how they're going to change, that's a good sign that you're nearly done with the tinkering. Something more tactical that you can do is just set a deadline for each milestone of your manuscript, the outline, the first draft to the final draft, and having a launch date. Because once you're able to set a launch date and it's dependent upon hitting that date, you'll stop tinkering pretty quick with that motivation. The next thing I would recommend is have a must-do list. My book must do this. My book must be insightful. My book must give step-by-step instructions. Whatever that must-do list is, write that down and make sure that those items are in it. Keep it to 2 or 3 main items, because if not, your list will get pretty long. And then finally, I would just say just trust your instincts. Trust your instincts that it's done and put it out there. Don't wait, because then you'll let it sit and go back and find something that you can change. I've worked with an author who's tinkered for years, and it's prevented them from launching their book and publishing it and being a unique voice in the market. And because they waited, they're no longer the only unique voice in that space. So don't wait to put it out there and share your unique voice with the world. Thank you for the question. Thank you for listening, and dust off your manuscript and turn it into a bestseller that grows your business.